What I wish to talk about today is Dr. Staloff's uh, lecture on Dorrty's neo-pragmatism, and in particular the very end of it where he talks about this sort of new philosopher. Now, philosophers today I find are oftentimes trying to make a philosopher king out of themselves, where they know the ultimate truth in the universe. They know how it truly is, and they have the best thoughts, and can therefore dictate other people's thoughts. They can say, hey, I'm your philosopher king, I'm your metaphorical philosopher king, so I can tell you that this isn't quite right, step your game up, step your thoughts up, step your thinking up. Really, Dorrty posits a new philosopher, one who goes on, who takes away the pedestal that he stands on. He gets off the high horse for a second and doesn't dictate what people believe. More one that's I suppose eager for knowledge, as it were, where he goes to the anthropology department and says, hey, give me something to think about. Then he runs it over to the history department and says, have you seen what they're doing in the anthropology department? How interesting, right? What do you have to say about this? And while I'm at it, maybe I'll go to the English department and see if they have a way of thinking about it that's different from mine. And I think this is perhaps what should be the ideal for a philosopher. Now, I think that's incredibly ironic, seeing as how now I'm dictating how other people should be thinking. But I think Dorrty might be right in this, and that as a philosopher, as someone who studies philosophy, you're not necessarily someone who stands above. Philosophy doesn't necessarily need to stand above the other fields. And I think that it was overall a pretty, I suppose, poor decision on our end to make it as such. Now, I want to tie this into the greater idea of being hungry for knowledge. There's a very common story of Plato or some other student of Socrates, and he goes, Socrates, I want to be wise. I want wisdom. I want a lot more than anything, really. Socrates nods, takes him to the river or the ocean or some large body of water, grabs him by the shoulders, he dunks him in, and he holds him there. Now, eventually, student needs air, and then he starts thrashing, trying to get Socrates off him. Socrates brings him back up and asks, hey, while you were submerged, right at the end there, what did you want? Air, obviously, right? Because that's what you need to live. And Socrates answers him by saying, once you want knowledge and wisdom as much as you want that's the true path that you should be on. So, I suppose I'm on a quest to want knowledge to that extent. To be hungry for it. And I've definitely started to, every day I read a French poem, try to get some new ways of forming ideas in my head, and I try to understand new structures or how things are organized. I've learned about the different types of roads the other day. For example, the material being the material that you build roads with. You have aggregate roads, gravel roads, dirt roads, etc., and this goes into cost and whatnot. So I think that at least I should try to be more hungry for knowledge, to search for knowledge and all things that I do. And I think what's the knowledge that it would be most pertinent to me as an individual, as someone who doesn't exactly come from a particular diverse background, I should go to people in search of new ideas. I should go and I should say, hey, give me something to think about. What is something that we disagree on I could be looking in from a new perspective. So yeah, that's about it. Bit of a shorter one today, but if you like, subscribe. If you have an opinion, feel it's being solicited right now. Give it to me. Maybe I'll argue with you in my comments. But hey, we'll see. Peace.